twinging point to allow you to get a lot of rounds on the T side. A lot easier than you would have to do so on the gun rounds, but I feel like as I watch Nuke more and more,
maybe the opener for NiP. Plenty more players down here toward the B bomb site though. Liquid will get one back courtesy of Nitro. The grenade to follow up through from him here. Does a bit of damage, and Twistzz. Where has that come from? 2 on Electro and Get Right. NiP finding res now as well. And Dennis, he finds himself alone all of a sudden. He's made some noise there in the vent as well. Twistzz pre-firing the corner, and it's going to be Nitro to finish it off. A very, very nicely executed force buy really from Liquid, not an anti-force buy. That
in a pretty strong position already on the CT side. Again, looking to deflect the save round from NiP. Build up their money nice and consistently. There you go. Clean as you like on Twistzz. Didn't even look. It doesn't look hard.
No, it doesn't when he does it.
Yeah. When I do it, let's not talk about it.
So that's really clean anti-ecos out from Liquid.
5+, 6, you know, you name it. Which would probably indicate that heading into the next half, this is going to not be a one-sided stomp like we've seen from Liquid most of the time. This is probably going to get a lot closer.
No, well, and that was something that I sort of was trying to bring up before this game did start, right? Where Liquid have, I mean, they've had pretty much the easiest run actually into the upper bracket final.
Which they should if they're the first seed. You know?
Which is true, right? But Boot, okay, that was never going to be a competition for them. And Big, the form that Big have been in, again, unlikely to really be much of a competition for Liquid. Whereas when you look at NiP, I guess, again, United, probably a fairly straightforward game for NiP, though they did get challenged there. And then Renegades, again, Renegades have
Evan annexed into up, but Twistzz under a lot of pressure and he can't deal with it.
He's going to fall to Dennis. Elige up through the vent. How does he win that aim battle? There's 8 seconds here for NiP. They're forced to commit to the plant, but a smoke will keep Stewie at bay. Now we're back into a 2v2. Elige, a very quick flick up. It's Stewie that'll actually get the shot onto Dennis, and now Get Right tapping away. Knows that he's under pressure from both angles, but Elige, low on HP, is an easy one to finish off. Get Right has been tagged, and Stewie will push forward with the pistol, gets the job done. Easy peasy in the end for Stewie. And that's 7 for Liquid. They only just scrape by in the round.
There you go. I think they worked out how to deal with Twistzz. You got to run at him from multiple angles and multiple different elevations, so he can't just turret you and shoot everything that comes into his crosshair. However, unfortunately, there is some other good players on Liquid, just a couple.
Yeah, 1 or 2.
So they'll still be, and you know, you can't rag on it too much. Sometimes on the T side of Nuke, you can end up like, whoa, getting 1 beat.
Yeah, or on the CT side, I suppose. I suppose that's why you want to be taking a P250 into the round, isn't it? And there's another one for NAF. Cleaning them up 1 by 1.
Smoke onto the windows, and they're going to send Elige like a sneaky man in towards that locker room. But Ninjas, they're down 2 men, so they're going to try to make their way into lobby here. But there are Ts waiting for them.
It's just Stewie at the moment waiting, actually, in the lobby. So only the 1. 1 might well be enough here for Liquid. He cannot calibrate quite onto Get Right. Still, it's going to allow Liquid a bit more freedom on the other areas of the map, and they're very quick to take advantage of that, streaming into the A bomb site. And Forrest, he was a bit crazy when we saw NiP going up against a United on this map on the CT side, but gonna have to do something particularly nutty this time. Does put a spanner in the works. He's only on the 1 HP and actually gets spammed away. Was through the smoke. Nonetheless, Liquid starting to make their way down, so is Get Right, and probably went a little bit further down than he would have liked that time. Forrest 1v3, and we know he is a bit of a legend in his own right, but this is going to need to be a legendary clutch.
Yeah, I don't think it's happening. And the second that Liquid got down 2 players through Secret without any information from NiP, that round's pretty much over because they had no one rotating in time to actually be able to deal with it. And the second that I saw Nitro was in vents holding on to that, and you had the player over towards Megaton as well, and NiP was still in their sort of standard formation, completely unawares.
It's a real push and pull of a game at the moment, isn't it?
The Ninjas and Smoke and Molly on towards Megaton, plant behind, and Twistzz has a flash to send Nitro into this Megaton if they want to push it as well.
Could go straight through the smoke. That would definitely catch Lekro off guard, and it seems as though that might be possible. In the end, actually, both the NiP players get the better. I say that, though, as Nitro does find Lecron, creeps back around the corner into Megaton again to safety. It was actually a bomb plant for Megaton as well. We didn't see the reset. But now Nitro has all the cards in his back pocket. Dennis a couple of flashbangs, but that's not going to make it easier to get this defuse, and Nitro won't miss that shot. 13's up for Liquid. It's a close round indeed, but oh god, look at the money for Liquid. They don't care if they've only got the one player alive.
There you go, Team Liquid just one step ahead in the mid-round.
Team Liquid just have an absolute ring around NiP right now. Slowly they're going to start to encroach. It's going to be Stewie that may well be the first to strike. In fact, he runs into Rez. Didn't expect him there in the CT spawn. Now it's Lecro's turn to take contact and gets a good fight onto NAF. There's obviously a few more players here from Liquid that he's going to have to deal with, but the longer that he survives, the more time it wastes for Team Liquid, and maybe even he can find one more kill here, which he can. Elise goes down, and Twistzz, he's on his own. The headshot comes across from Lecro. He's an absolute beast today.
He literally, did you see what his M4 was called, by the way?
I did not.
His M4 is named Goblin, and that's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
He's hid in that corner, hid behind the box the entire round.
That's what you got to do sometimes.
Look at it. Oh no, the names aren't on the replays. I'm sad. Oh well.
You could maybe see it on the side of his gun there. What ninjas the Japanese?
Oh, sorry.
Anyway, at this point they're Swedish, it seems. Dennis, I mean, you may laugh at his name, but seems like he's making it happen anyway. There goes NAF and taking him out. NAF, what is going on the A bomb side here for NAF? Seems like as soon as he walks into the site, two players are going to die. Stewie as well getting another. And that might just be Get Right surviving.
Oh, they could both pretty much breathe heavily on each other and they would die.
Get Right's got this, surely. And he does. Good clutch. Expensive round, though, for both sides. Look at the money.
100%. But NiP do get it done. Again, in the late round, they close it out. Time and time. As Liquid, like I said, bit of a lackluster buy, 2 SMGs. I don't need a high school education to know that those guns are not very good. Look at the pace from Liquid straight into the bathroom to Get Right shutting them down from Con.
Yeah, we're just focusing on Dennis right now, but it's Get Right that's making the magic happen. Can't really fault it. NiP looking good now. They started to get some momentum. And Liquid, what is in the playbook for now? You know, what's the plan B? Because it's time to start control here for Liquid. Hope they wash their hands on the way out. Dennis. It's the security guard making sure. Nothing too crazy going on here. That's a nice pick for Rez. Did he spot the second player there on long? I know that he did. There's the pop flash through, but Stewie, he's just going to be able to get out of there alive. And Twistzz, well, you called him out a little bit there, but it's a nice kill from him. Keeps his teammate alive. 4v4 still the case here. But Liquid running out of time to work with 20 seconds on the clock, and Rez might have just shut it down there alongside Forrest. Here's one more shot for him, which connects as well. Let's Get Right to finish it off. Some very clean AWPing on display there from Rez.
Who can't AWP on NiP? Who can't?
Get Right.
Okay.
What can Elise do here? He's peeking into Dennis. Now, obviously, the game is up for NiP, that the guns are in their hands, and it's certainly working out. Now, the longer range aim duels are starting to come into effect, as you spoke about. The Galil just a little favored there. NAF does have himself an M4, but he's not the one on the bomb side here that can make much of a difference, although he does get Right and Rez. And, well, I might as well eat my words, because having rotated up, he actually does shut down 2, Twistzz another. And we're into a 1v1. NAF needs to make the difference. He knows where Dennis is. Has the HP to play with as well. And the bomb still needs to be collected and planted by Dennis with only 28 seconds left on the clock here. NAF finishes it off, man. How could I have ever doubted him? He's in my fantasy team, for God's sake.
He's doing the heavy lifting for your fantasy team right now.
And this HE nade liable to do some damage as well. So Liquid are really just making good usage of everything that they have at their disposal. Forrest does trade one back with the AWP, but it's not really enough to make you feel too safe here, particularly with Twistzz playing by the toxic barrels. Now NAF is the one that they have to get through, and he's been on point, but Dennis, where has this come from? This round is looking much nicer for him until he runs into Nitro's AWP, and that Molotov, or rather that incendiary, oh, it doesn't quite land on default. So it's not going to deny the bomb plant from Forest, but it's the AWP and the AWP. And Nitro has been struggling a little bit more than Forest so far on this map, but here's a chance for him to win a pretty important clutch, as has already been the case for Team Liquid on this CT side so far. I don't know if he expects Forest in a position like this with an AWP.
Oh, the quickscope as well. Not an easy shot to be hitting. How has Forest swindled him there?
I mean, that's a bit of a ballsy shot to take.
Progression smoke towards the long A angle. It even pulls the rotation of Stewie, who's making his way back up onto that A bomb site, but it was thrown from very far back, which means that Rez is going to get a wriggle on over towards B, and Twistzz is aggressive in short B, who will now be joined back up with by Stewie, who looks like he's itching to potentially peek into this monster tunnel with the AWP. He's going to hold on to the pillar.
Oh, and this is a good spot for Stewie to play from. He can just dance around the pole. He's gotten the first two, and he's backed up well by Twistzz. And there's a no-scope to finish it off as well. Liquid, it's another round on the board. There was, you know, a spot where it was a little precarious for them, but all of a sudden, we're back to Team Liquid dominance.
Oh, some very nice shots coming out from the man to shut down that half buy of NiP, but it's getting a little bit dangerous looking.
Damn. The no-scope as well to finish it off. It's like the cherry on top.
Yeah.
But Team Liquid are not out of the woods yet. Should I say not out of the forest yet, because it's up a little bit for Liquid. More importantly as well, it's one of the AWPs that's down. So you got NAF there, who's been really a standout for Liquid playing with an SMG. Wonder what that means for the A bomb site defense here. Stewie still on B.
Yeah, it's actually a leech with the Famis, who's aggressive up in towards toilet.
But how does NAF win that aim duel? How does he win the second as well? NAF is just an absolute machine. Gosh, bring him back to Renegades.
They need him.
3v2 though. Still winnable for NiP. Micro going to crouch on down. That's a nice tag onto Twistzz. Would have been better if he finished it off. NAF is cleaning up everyone on Liquid. What did I even... Why did I even mention the SMG? It doesn't matter what he's carrying.